Today we are back with Project Metro to do a 2-month review to see the things that I've absolutely hated about the car to the things I've absolutely loved about the car. But first we'll go to the things that I've hated first of all, so that we can get the horrible stuff out the way.
The things I don't like about the Metro.
Could say the only thing that I don't really like about the car is the headrest. Is essentially, it's not you can't call that a headrest. It's essentially just a little square thing made out of plastic. Uncomfortable. Whoever designed that needs to reconsider their life choices, because it's not funky, it doesn't look smart, it's just very uncomfortable. And then when you're stuck in traffic and you want to just rest your head back and relax while being bumper to bumper traffic, thanks to Mr. Drakeford's pathetic idea of how to drive, it's very uncomfortable. But apart from that, that's the only thing I don't like about this car. Let's move on to things I absolutely adore about this car.
The things I love about my Metro.
Right, the first thing I do really like about this car and adore is that 90s look to it. You can see, yes, it was designed in the last year of the 80s, but you can see a lot of 90s in that look. I could say I'm biased because one is my car, my little Rover Metro, but I think the looks of the car has aged very well. Well, it's not a sort of style that you see anymore. It is quite an interesting looking little car. Fair play to it. And with essentially, I don't really want to do much to it, as in body wise. The only thing I've done is that whomping exhaust there, but that is essentially it. And that's only because my own daft fault. When I first picked this car up, I bottomed that downpipe on when the suspension wasn't right. So then, instead of going through just a standard exhaust, I thought, why not have a one-off for a change, a long life exhaust. But yes, that look of that car is a cute little car. It's a happy little car. It's something that sadly you don't see many of, because I think last time I checked on how many cars left. If I could be wrong, it could be more or less. Last time I checked, there's only 64 of these cars left on the road. Quite a shame, where cars like these were used as police cars at one point, and it's just an incredible little car. Right, on to the next thing I like about this car. Hey fellow Rangers, just to let you know, my little YouTube channel has become an ambassador to the 92 Automotive. Mel is an amazing photographer and friend of mine. Please give a website a look. If you love your cars and photos, it's definitely worth a shot. There is a discount code which is Lone Ranger 10. It will be in the description below. Thank you very much. The second thing I will talk about is the door cards and the doors, essentially. I love how the looks of the 90s door cards, you can tell where the modern stuff's starting to come in. But this is, I know that looked a little bit harder than it should be, but it's essentially very light door. Blow them open, essentially. They are so 90s retro style doors, and it's one thing you can't beat out of a 90s car or a classic car of this era. Look how slim those door cards are, with actual door pockets. speakers on the front, wind up windows. There's no electric windows in this, no electric mirrors even in this car, and it's just tell the 90s thing to this car. I love it. I don't care what people say. The 90s are slowly coming back in style, and I'm biased on that one, but that's what I personally think. Right, another part I love about these cars, if you don't count the headrests, damn horrible things, is the actual seats. It's that pattern, for example, is a very nice pattern only Rovers had, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, which I am, probably am. So I know I'm probably wrong before you put it in the comments, but these are really nice, comfortable seats. It's the joys of being a four-door, seats in the back. It's easier access to the seats in the back. Very comfortable seats. I've driven to Warwickshire in them. I've driven quite a fair bit of mileage in this little car now, and they are very comfortable. I don't get out the car with a bad back. Even though this is meant to be a little city car, it'll still get you to wherever you want it to take you and still be in comfort. One thing I love about 90s cars, which is one thing you don't get nowadays, is its style dashboard. But yes, no rev gauge. It's because it's a 1.1 S. Even though it's the S, it still only has no rev gauge. But unlike the 1.1 L and the C, it's got a 5-speed gearbox as standard. And the other thing I love about another thing I love about the 90s cars of this era is the fact that that chunky feel to the indicators and to the stalks themselves in question, and just you got a separate button. Unlike most cars nowadays, you got the rear wiper on your actual wiper stalk, but this you got it all here, nice and chunky. Rear heated window, nice and chunky. You don't have to go down to here to get to the heated controls, even though in this car that is the cigarette ashtray, which is standard on the S, and the glove compartment lid is standard on the S. You got the heated controls here, and in fairness to this little car, it does get quite warm very fast. And pretty much one other thing I love about this car. One thing I absolutely love about this car, and no order for this list, is the way this car sounds on idle. It absolutely sounds amazing. For a little 1.1 with, yes, I know it's an aftermarket exhaust, but it's still very nice. And let's hear it rev. I don't know if the phone picked that up, but the rev, just as you drop the revs, you get that little burble in the exhaust. It's such a lovely thing to listen to. I think I could listen to that all day. I would if I could get away with it. A little bit more. Right, the last thing that I absolutely love about this car, which I will do now, is go for a little drive of my little beast of a Metro. Right, on the road now with this glorious little Metro. golly, it goes. This is a magnificent little car. Was the very first Metro I've ever driven, was this little car. When my grandfather bought this car back in December of last year, he asked me, "Oh, Reese, can you have a ticket for a test drive as I trust your judgment?" And so I took it for a test drive, being, well, I thought it was an okay looking car, but I'd never driven a Rover Metro before in my life, and essentially I was still part of this stigma that the Mini was a much better car. But I will be honest there, I still thought that the Rover Metro was a bit of a joke until I drove it. And I was shocked. It put me in my place. This little car, it pulls so well in all the gears. I've just pulled, just as I said, I was doing 60 and I'm already doing 70, right? You can batter an eyelid. This car is just so rapid for 1.1. You would think that a 1.18 valve engine wouldn't be so fast, but by golly, this little engine is. It just goes like a little train. It wants to just drive. And talking of the handling, that is amazing. It's a little city car. You've still got the amazing city car handling. Its road manners are well behaved on the motorway. On the normal roads as well, A and B roads, it loves. And in town and city centres, this is such a light little car to drive. It's makes you seriously wonder, why do people buy big cars like Range Rovers? Because when you can get a car like this for not even near half the money, or even a quarter of the money of a Range Rover, and you can absolutely enjoy it. It is such wonders why. But yeah, it's such a magnificent little car. There will be in the description below an email address. It's if you have a Rover Metro or Rover 100, please email me your photos, as I would love to see them. And if I do get enough pictures of them, I will make a video of it. And if you email me a picture, even if you don't have a Rover Metro, if enough of you email me pictures of your beautiful cars, I will do a video on it, if it's enough. Also, if this video has made you consider getting a Rover Metro, please let me know, because they are amazing little cars. They are well worth the money. They are very underrated. They are a sort of car that people should buy and keep and look after, no matter what you do with them. Unfortunately, I had to open the window now because I'm roasting like an oven, pretty much. But this car just sounds amazing with that long life exhaust. Also, if you ever don't go for a standard exhaust, don't go for an off-the-shelf exhaust, go for something like a long life exhaust. It's just, you can get it bespoke to what you want it to be. It's well worth it. So that's the end of the driving segment of this video. So in a moment you'll see us when we're back at the office. Right, back at home base now. Pretty much, if you have enjoyed today's video, please put a like on it. It shows that you have enjoyed the video. Put a comment below. Let me know if this has really made you consider buying a little Rover Metro for yourself. If you have got a Rover Metro, there will be an email in the description below where you can send an image of your car, and if I get enough of them, I will definitely love to do a little video on people's Rovers. It says I do enjoy this little car to bits. But if you have any other classic cars which you'd like to show me pictures of, and if I get enough of them, by all means, I'll be doing a video of it, as long as I get enough of them. If I don't get more than one or two, then there won't be a video but about it. But if I get like over, like, let's say 10, for example, there will be a video. Oh, so if you have, like I said already, if you have liked the video, please put a like on it. Put a comment on it, as I always make a point of replying to every comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, as you don't want to miss out on all the fun for more Rover goodness, to the Triumph Dolomites, car shows, car meets, model railways, steam galas, diesel galas, so much to come. So for now, this is Lone Ranger signing off.